Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. As a director of our center, I'd like to welcome you to today's training on the NAEYC Code of Ethics, Guiding Ethical Practices in our Child Care Center. So why do ethics matter? As early childhood educators, we're trusted with one of the most important jobs there is, caring for young children. And so every single day, we make decisions that affect their learning, their safety, their overall well being. And the NAEYC Code isn't just this long list of rules, it's more of a guide. It's a guide that helps us make the thoughtful, professional decisions, especially when situations aren't always clear. And so, when everyone on our team follows the same ethical standards, we create a center where children will feel safe, families will feel respected, and the staff work together with trust and professionalism. Core values. So, the NAEYC Code is built on a set of core values that guide our work every single day. And so, one of those values is recognizing that childhood is a very unique and important stage of life. We also understand that every child and every family brings different experiences, strengths, perspectives, and those differences should be respected. And another value that really stands out is the importance of continuing to learn and grow as professionals. And we have to think the more we learn, the better we can support the children and the families who depend on us. The NAEYC Code makes it very clear that our first and most important responsibility is to the children. So their safety, their well-being should always come first. And so this means really creating an environment where children feel physically safe, emotionally supported, excited to learn. But it also means that recognizing that every child is very unique. And so some children may need maybe a little bit of extra encouragement or different learning strategies. And it's our responsibility to meet those individual needs. When we create that nurturing, inclusive classroom, we're helping every child feel valued and giving them the opportunity to succeed. So what would this look like in our classrooms? So every child who walks through our doors should feel welcome, respected, and included. And we all know that children learn in different ways and come from very different backgrounds. So it is very important that we adapt our teaching to meet those individual needs. And we have to remember that inclusion isn't just about allowing every child to participate, but more about making sure every child does feel like they truly belong. When the child feels accepted and supported, they're more confident, they become more engaged, and they'll become more excited to learn. So, partnering with families. One of the things I appreciate most about the NAEYC Code is that it really recognizes families as our partners. So parents and caregivers are the ones who know their children better than anyone else. So it's important that we build relationships based on that trust and the mutual respect. And so this starts with very honest communication, listening to families' concerns if they have any, making them feel welcome in our program, and even very small conversations during drop-off or pickup can really strengthen those relationships. And when families and educators work together, children receive consistent support both at home and here at our center. Maintaining confidentiality and professionalism. So families trust us with very personal information, and protecting that trust is one of our professional responsibilities. So this means things like keeping children's records confidential, only sharing information with people who have a legitimate need to know, things like this. But at the same time, confidentiality does have limits. So if we ever believe a child is being abused or neglected, we're legally and ethically responsible for reporting those concerns. And the goal is always to protect children while treating families with honesty, respect, and professionalism. I'm sure we've all experienced how much a simple 2-minute conversation can make a parent feel heard. Working together as professionals. So a high quality early childhood program really depends on teamwork. None of us can do this job alone, and the NAEYC Code reminds us that we have a responsibility to support and respect one another. And so this means, communicating professionally, sharing ideas, being willing to help each other when challenges come up. And if concerns arise, we should address them respectfully and through the appropriate channels. When we build a positive workplace, we're not just supporting one another, we're also creating a better environment for the children and the families we serve. And it is so important to remember that our responsibilities don't stop at the classroom door. As early childhood educators, we should also have we play a very important role in supporting our community and advocating for children. Our responsibility beyond the classroom. So as educators, we have the opportunity to make a difference beyond our classrooms. And sometimes that means helping families connect with community resources. Other times it means maybe speaking up for policies or practices that support young children. We also represent the early childhood profession every day through our actions. So acting with honesty, integrity, professionalism, acting with these things in mind, we help build trust with the families and strengthen our community's confidence in early childhood education. Even with all of these responsibilities, there will be times when the right decision isn't immediately clear, and that's where ethical decision making becomes extremely important. Recognizing ethical dilemmas. So another thing I really like about the NAEYC code is that it recognizes that we won't always have easy answers, and sometimes we'll face decisions where two choices seem very reasonable, and that's called an ethical dilemma. During those moments, though, it's very important to just slow down and think carefully about what's in the child's best interest. And so we can use the code as like a guide and reach out to a supervisor or a trusted colleague for that extra support. We have to remember, asking for guidance isn't a weakness, it's part of being a responsible professional. And so once we work through those difficult decisions, the next step is really making ethical practice part of everything we do each and every day. Applying ethics every day. So far we've talked about the responsibilities we have to children, families, coworkers, and our community, but the most important thing to remember is that ethics isn't something we think about only during our training. So we practice this every day if you really think about it. It's reflected in how we speak to the children in our care, how we communicate with families, and how we support one another as a team. The small choices we make every day build trust and strengthen these relationships and really help create the kind of center where children can truly thrive. Our commitment. So the NAEYC code isn't just about understanding ethical responsibilities. It's more about making a commitment to live them out every day. So as educators, we're role models for children and we're trusted partners for families. And so this means treating everyone with respect, continue to grow professionally, and supporting one another as a team. And every positive interaction we have builds a safe and welcoming environment where children can learn and thrive. And when we stay committed to these core values, we're really strengthening not just our program, but also the profession of early childhood education. So here are a few key takeaways from our training today. I really hope today's training has shown that the NAEYC Code of Ethics is so much more than just a professional document. It's really a resource that helps guide the decisions we make every day. When we put children first, partner with families, when we support one another and act with integrity, we create an environment where everyone can succeed. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your commitment to creating a safe, caring, and ethical environment for every child. And together, we can all make a lasting difference in the lives of the children and the families we serve.